So, we're back again for another episode of the Flixters, folks. And so we're doing episode 152. So on this week's episode, we're going to be reviewing the big cinema release and the big Disney Plus release, which is Jungle Cruise, this huge, The Rock and Emily Blunt movie. So we're going to get into that one. And we are going to be speaking, hopefully, this week about Werewolves Within. We've kind of been pushing that movie to the side. So if we get time, we're going to be speaking about that. And hopefully, we can throw in a hidden gem for you. So let's get into the show, Devaldo. Now, first things first, what we love doing on the show is doing our shout out. So Deval, please let us know about the shout outs. Who we're shouting out this week?
2 shout outs this week. First shout out goes out to Zakharov, our very own Zakharov, who we're going to get on the show at some point, sometime. So just guys, wait for that one. Honestly, Zakharov is one of our favorites, best, most... he really every week, literally, Zakharov is
exactly.
messaging us. He loves
He
movies.
needs to be on the show.
He's got some hidden gems. He knows hidden gems. So yeah, when you hear Zakharov soon, guys, you're gonna know who we're talking about. Second shout out goes out to the 5Fs channel. And every week the 5Fs channel kindly has us on their channel on Telegram. So if you want to go out and check out the 5Fs channels, and that's F for Freddy. I know my S sounds like S, but it's F for Freddy. And you're thinking, what does the 5F stand for?
Yeah,
a bit high. The 5Fs stand for fun, finance, fitness, family, and faith. And those are some of the 5 foundations,
the pillars of life, man.
Of the universe, even, all multiverse.
Tell me about it. Listen, if you're covering those topics, right? Listen, man, you got everything covered, man. Those are the most important things that are going on. Yeah, so go definitely check those guys out. Thanks, guys, for for shouting or for keeping in touch with us as well. So that's really great. Keep them coming in. And remember, shout outs. Remember, you could be a shout out on the show. All you got to do is just get in touch with us on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, wherever it is, on Facebook, and let us know what you're watching, what movies you think are worth watching, what movies are shit or whatever. And we'll be more than happy to kind of speak about that and shout you out on the show. Now let's move on to movie news.
Well. They can win a prize.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Do the prize quickly this week. So, guys, if you want to win a prize, come and speak. All you got to do is contact us on Instagram, but also write a review. So let me get it straight. Write a review. You can do this on Apple reviews. Just write the review of what you think of the Flixters. Contact us on Instagram. Let us know you've done it, and we'll send you out a free cinema ticket and also a Rakuten movie code.
Come on!
Cinema ticket is in the UK only for now, but that's either Odeon or View. And the Rakuten movie code lets you rent a movie at home in your, in comfort of your own home. So that's free prizes.
Come on, man. Like, seriously, Flixters for free. Come on, man. You could be going to the cinema. Seriously, just like popcorn money, man. That's it. That's all you need. All right, okay, let's do movie news. Now, Deval, we haven't really spoken about, we kind of, to lead up to it and everything like that, we kind of spoke about Thor 4. We knew that there was we spoke about casting rumors, and I think we were the first 2 people on the internet who broke the news about Christian Bale. Come on, man. We broke it. Christian Bale is going to be in the next Thor movie, if you didn't know, and he's going to be playing a villain. And Deval, what is the name of that villain?
Gore the God Butcher.
What a name,
That's
man.
right.
What a name.
When you meet Gore the God Butcher, the first thing he'll say to you is, or you'll say to him, "Can I have £20 lamb, please?" And he's like, £20 money or £20 weight? He butchers that.
Exactly.
I'll chop it up for you. I'll chop up this.
Seriously, you know what? I remember we were speaking about this, and we have spoken about this, a long time. We're like, how is this character gonna be on screen? How are they gonna weave him in, and what is he gonna do? And so what do we know about this, Deval? We know that they were filming in Australia, down under. Filmings, I think, is stopped now. A lot of people have gone back to their kind of respective countries and whatever. But tell us about this. Tell us about Christian Bale and Gore the God Butcher.
Yes, Gore the God Butcher. Just a little bit of a background. Gore is a he was a simple chap in a simple world in a simple universe, and his people, they worshipped the gods, and they worshipped the gods relentlessly, with a real passion, until one day they realized the gods didn't really give a shit about them.
Yeah.
And during one random afternoon, a couple of gods fell down to their planet fighting, killed themselves, and Gore the God Butcher came upon the Necro Sword, which gave him crazy powers. And he,
Ooh.
from that day, vowed that he would never worship and, uh, you know, sacrifice or submit his life to the gods, because he lost everything. I think
Yeah.
during that fight, his wife. No, it wasn't even during that fight. I think the people that his people were praying to the gods, and people died of starvation. Famine, crops failed. So soon enough, they thought the gods don't give a shit about them. So a
Yeah.
bit of backstory of God the God Butcher. So he's got a purpose as to why he's going out killing gods. But he
Yeah.
looks like a bit of a. He's got like pale white skin. He hasn't got any hair. A bit like the guy from what's his name, Harry Potter. I don't know who the bad is for
Oh,
Harry Potter.
Voldemort.
Yeah, it looks
Yes.
a bit like Voldemort, but a bit more obviously, presence, the
Yeah.
cloak. The Necro sword is like a liquid sword in black, very similar to how Venom looks, because the Necro sword derives from Venom's planet. So what we saw on
Jeez.
set is that Christian Bale, whoever it was, is they've got the white look about them. They've got like a big
Yeah.
white kind of cape. Obviously, special effects will be added onto that, but
Yeah.
it's looking
Yeah.
like they're going very much towards the comic book description of
Which,
Gore the God
yeah,
Butcher, which is good.
fans are going to be happy about that depiction, right? And the
Mm,
thing is, it makes total sense. Like Thor, obviously the god of thunder, so he's
yeah,
kind of, he's a god basically. So Christian Bale's character, the God Butcher, he's going to be like, nah, we're going to tear down
yeah.
these deities or whatever. Like,
Oh,
we're going
make
to
a
just
curry
chop
goat
them
out of
down.
them, man. Trust me. Make a curry goat out of them. I'm
Carry
telling
go.
you.
He's gonna go in, man. He's gonna go. Now, the exciting thing about this is like I'm really eager to kind of watch this movie, and I think we all are because we want to see how
Mm.
it fits in with the next phase of Marvel, Phase 4 and 5 or whatever. But also, how do you reckon Loki is going to somehow get woven into this?
Do you know what? It's not a Thor film without Loki, So possibly we've seen the events of Loki, the show on Disney Plus,
Yeah,
and we know there's different Lokis around the multiverse, and maybe this, another one might pop up. Who knows?
yeah,
Anything could
yeah.
happen.
Anything can happen. So, folks, you got to basically keep your eye on the whole MCU, and you got to be listening to the Flixers to kind of
Hmm.
for us to kind of break it all down for you. Now, let's speak about this one. Let's speak about Hawkeye. We mentioned it last week, and we said the final of the end credit scene of Black Widow. Deval is there's a little thing between Black Widow's sister Yelena. I forget her surname. What was it
Belova.
again? Belova.
Mm.
So Yelena Belova, she's at the cemetery and she's putting some flowers down on Black Widow's grave, and then she's approached by
Is it
what
Val or
is her
something?
name?
Valentina something something. Something
And
I
what is
saw
she
there.
doing? She's getting together a team, right? Or she's got a team together,
Yeah, she's assembling like almost like a Dark Avengers team. So you got the sort
right?
of crazy Cap, and then you got the other version of Black Widow, and
Yeah,
she'll get some others too.
exactly. So what is the news? There's a connection there, and Yelena. What
Mm.
are we seeing now? What's that connection with Hawkeye?
Yeah, our sources have confirmed with us that Yolanda Belova's character, Florence Pugh, will definitely be in the first episode of Hawkeye.
Boom.
So from
There
the
you go.
get go, you're going to see her, because in the end of Black Widow, Val will call her, said that Hawkeye was the one responsible for, almost
Yeah,
like the downfall of Black Widow. So
yeah.
that's the reason why I think Yelena Belova's character is going to be there in Hawkeye, trying to get back at him or his daughter, Kate Bishop. So be
Yeah,
interesting to
yeah.
see how this turns out.
But I mean, she's not gonna kind of like be the villain though. We know that she's not can't be a villain though, can she? Or
I can't see that happening. I don't know if
yeah,
this is some sort of, I don't know, double bluff or what, but you know they they're all going to be sharing the screen together. But for me, it's exciting because
yeah,
it just connects the movies and the TV shows, and it all just fits nicely. So I'm liking that already, and it'd be good to see maybe Yolanda Belova and Kate Bishop have a little
yeah,
chat or some sort of connection, because as we've heard before, in the future we might get a Young Avengers. So
Makes
that
sense.
could
Makes
be
sense.
interesting.
Another movie which is kind of going to be, well, which we think is all going to be about connectedness is Spider-Man
Mm.
Part 3, which is No Way Home.
No Way Home, yeah.
Yeah, No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, there's been a lot of talk about there being kind of like it's a movie set in the kind of multiverse, and so
Mm.
Tom Holland Spider-Man might see the other Spider-Man played by
Andrew Garfield and Toby
Andrew Garfield,
Maguire. Mm.
Toby Maguire. So there might be that kind of a thing. Now, usually round about this time, now, if we're going by the timeline of 2019 Spider-Man Far From Home, round about this time, Devaldo, they started teasing, there'd be a little teaser trailer. But our little birdies are telling us, that they're delaying it.
Yeah, the film's out in December, which is only we're in August now. December
Four and a
is
half, what? Four
exactly.
and a half months?
And by now, Marvel really work in advance. Maybe the pandemic has maybe changed the plans a bit, but usually sometimes you get a trailer, about 10 months in advance, a teaser
Yeah,
trailer,
yeah.
But so far nothing. I think there could be a reason for that. Maybe what they're going to show us will show us too much because maybe we need to see the events of maybe I don't know. Maybe we've got to see Hawkeye first. Maybe we've got to see, Shang-Chi first. I don't know, but either way, I mean, I don't mind waiting, to be honest. As long as they don't
Exactly.
delay the movie, I don't want the movie to be delayed again. I
Yeah.
don't mind waiting for the trailer, but I think the
Because
trailer's going
how
to be
much more?
gangster.
Yeah. How much more can they keep delaying stuff? I reckon because they are working to their schedule, and I know that
Mm.
they kind of all the parts need to kind of fit in. So we remember, folks, we're going to be seeing Shang-Chi, we're going to be seeing Eternals and Spider-Man this year. So that's three huge movies that we're going to be seeing, and obviously
And
all the other stuff.
Hawkeye as well. We've got possibly Miss
Um,
Marvel. I mean,
Marvel
there's
as
a
well.
lot going on, man.
Exactly. So the next 4 months are going to be ram-packed. Now, okay, let's move on to DC now. So we've been reading a lot of news about what's going on in DC. Michael Keaton, who played the original Batman from 1989 and 91 or whatever it was, he's been in England, Devel, and he's been filming. And there's leaks. If you go online, you can basically see pictures of the old his Batmobile, and so that's definitely being worked on right now. This new
Yeah.
Flash movie where it's going to bring in Michael Keaton and it's going to bring in Ben Affleck, right? So that's what we know, but we don't know about the villain, Deval, or do we?
Yeah, again, our little birdies, little birdies have been flapping their wings and they've been perched above, the rooftops of London. And they're saying that possibly they've seen on set another person looking a lot like the Flash. Now,
Mm,
there's speculation there that it could be either the reverse Flash,
yeah,
Earbald Thorn, who we've
Thorn.
seen
Yeah,
in the TV shows, who's usually in yellow, or it could be Dark Flash, which is basically another Barry Allen from an alternate, universe,
yeah,
who's had a rough life. Didn't get his way, didn't get that job
yeah,
in Star Labs. All kinds of shits happened to him, and he's just a dark version. So it could be another version of Flash either way. And what we've seen in a lot of these movies, let's be honest, yeah, a lot of the villains usually have a similarity to the hero
yeah,
because the
yeah.
powers usually have to be similar for it to reflect well on screen. So you know what? That's not a bad bet. That could be either Earbard Thorn or Dark Flash.
Yeah, why not? I mean, Flash
Mm,
fighting Flash, I think is it'd be interesting. They did that for such a long time on the
yeah,
Flash TV show,
yeah.
which is still going on. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of that recently, Deval, by the way, the Flash
Mm.
TV one.
I gave up
But I
on it, to be
know,
honest. After the
yeah,
pandemic, I kind of gave up on all of them.
I
All
know
of them.
there's kind of
So
like a big story arc with
mm,
with the reverse flash and all that sort of stuff going in there. So listen, we'll keep you posted on that. And finally, on movie news, let's speak about a movie from the past. So Josh Trank, he was the
mm.
director who brought us Chronicle, this movie which starred
Michael B.
Michael
Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan, and that kind of catapulted, I reckon, Michael B. Jordan into kind of like the stratosphere. About these three kids who go into a cave and they somehow come back with special powers. Like, I thought it was really interesting, low budget, and it
Yeah,
did really well. And then from that movie, Josh Trank, the director, got Fantastic Four.
yeah,
And then Deval, we know what happened, with Fantastic Four. It tanked.
yeah.
You
Or
know, tr-
Tranked.
it tranked basically, and and then he didn't make a movie for a number of years, and then he came back with Al Capone movie with Tom Hardy. But listen, let's go back to Chronicle. What's happening? There's rumors that there's going to be another one.
Yeah, so the Chronicle goes on. So it's been confirmed by the producer in the sequel that there will be a sequel of
Ooh,
Chronicle. There'll be more people flying around in the sky, waving their arms around and moving stuff. And this sequel is going to have a female lead. Not sure
right.
who the lead is going to be. Not sure on the rest of the cast or the storyline. Maybe a bit more of this magic rock landed somewhere else in the world, and other people have got the
Yeah.
powers. But I just hope they treat the film the same way as the first film. The first film, it wasn't too crazy. Like, it was interesting to see kids getting powers and seeing how they'll use those powers, because we all
Yes.
know with great power comes
Exactly.
great
Great, like
responsibility.
great responsibilities, great hormones.
Exactly.
Like you give kids, man, seriously, man, you give kids this type of godlike power. What are they going to do?
Mate.
Imagine you, Deval.
That's
Imagine you, Deval, when you were like 15-year-old Deval with the
woo.
power to, like, imagine he has like the power of lightning in his fingers, man. Seriously, what would you do with that shit,
I'll make
man?
lightning strike twice everywhere. Honestly, I will be naughty. I'll be like, I would never be poor. I'll be
Uh,
getting money. Like, I'll
exactly.
just be, I don't know, I'll be naughty, put it that way. Things I'll be
Imagine
doing.
that.
Hmm, mate.
Man, listen, the
In
imagine like, it's
school already, yeah. I
endless.
remember in school I had this remote control watch, yeah. And I remember
Changing the
clearly
channel.
to this day. Yeah, I remember in geography class, our teacher had like they came to show us some, the landscapes or the
Yeah,
wildlife.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what it, and she set it up, sat down, and I pressed stop. And just sat there, and she'd get up. Oh, press
Oh, what's
play
happening
again.
there?
Then when she sat down, boop, and she'd go and call technical. Technical will come.
That is
They'll press. Be
wicked.
like, "Oh, it's working fine." She's like, "Oh, okay, thank you." They go away. As soon as they go, boop. Honestly, so that's
Classic.
what I did with a watch, a remote control watch. Imagine what I did with
Imagine
powers.
what you do with powers, man. Oh gosh. Listen, children up and down the country for eons. That is the thing that they've imagined what they would do with magical powers or whatever powers, whatever, man. So listen, yeah, we've all had those conversations, but it's interesting. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out on Chronicle and we'll kind of like keep a poster on that. But before we do that, let's speak about box set watch list. And
Mm.
Deval, you've put on there something called Power Book Raising Canaan. Now, this power book, what? The book gives you power? What is this?
Power book comes from Power, the Netflix show,
Yeah,
Power, and this is basically other series that have spawned from that. So
from
last year
that.
we
Yeah,
had,
spin off.
was
Yeah,
it this last year or this year? Yeah, it was last year we had Power Book, the Book of Ghost, which was the main character, Chadwick, I think his name is.
yeah.
His character, his son, is now a drug dealer and all kinds of madness. So this one is another story of 50 Cent's character when he was young.
Mm, yeah.
So Raising Canaan is the story of Canaan, 50 Cent's character when he was young in the hood, and how he grew up to be the character that we saw in Power.
So
So
yeah,
yeah, so it's an interesting one. I've only
basically
seen
like
two
a
episodes.
prequel. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a prequel. Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is a prequel. This is an 80s, so it's cool. They love the 80s these days, don't they? Even
man.
kids that were born in like the 2000s, like
They're like,
love
hey
the
man, they
80s.
know shit about the 80s. I'm like, what do you know about the 80s? Like you
Exactly.
weren't even
You
like
were born in
you were like
2000.
nothing. Exactly. You were like an
HD
itch
tellies
in
were
your
out when you
daddy's
were born.
pants.
You know.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's really interesting. So yeah, so go check that out. That's Power Book, Raising Canaan. And if you haven't seen obviously the first stuff, go back and
Mm,
watch that and then you can kind of fill yourself
yeah.
in on that one. Let's speak about streaming. Specifically, let's speak about trailers, and we know Money Heist is going to be coming. Whenever I
Oof.
go onto the homepage of Netflix Devout, it kind of, they've got this little kind of, the page there, and it says worth the wait, and Money
Oh
Heist is there.
man.
So
Bella
I've,
ciao,
I've,
bella ciao, bella
I know,
ciao,
man,
ciao, ciao.
and to think this is one of the
Bella ciao.
biggest shows for
Yeah.
Netflix Devout.
Internationally.
Huge,
This is crazy. People, I was, I
international,
was, I was
millions.
brought onto the show by a friend who actually came into the show a while ago, Charlie, and
Yeah.
I watched this show thinking, what is this? and I loved it. I even watch it with
Yeah.
the English dub because the English
Yes.
dub makes it
It's
better.
so
Spanish
funny.
shows,
Yeah,
like,
it's good.
still the English dub is better. But yeah, for those that don't know, Money Heist is about a group of people who get together and they're trying to, steal money from the banks, and
Yeah.
it's all about bringing down this, what do they call it? The
The
not the hierarchy. What's the word that they usually call it? Bringing down the establishment. Sorry, yeah,
establishment.
like the
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
establishment and stuff like that. So yeah, and each team member gives themselves a code name, which is usually a city, because they're
Yeah.
trying to keep things really, inconspicuous, and
They don't
don't
want to
want to tell
know
people
about, like,
who they
yeah,
are really. Yeah,
who they
you
are.
got
Yeah.
Rome, you got Denver, you got
Copenhagen.
Helsinki, Copenhagen, Nairobi. It's a really crazy, crazy show. Season 5 is starting real soon, and the trailer came out. Do you know what? I'll be honest. I watched half of it because I didn't want to see the rest.
That's, you know what, Deval. I didn't even see the trailer because I don't want to. I
Yeah,
don't want to see anything about this. And see, the thing is, right? A lot of people when I speak to tell people about this, they're like, "Yeah, but how many times are they going to be robbing stuff?" I'm like, "Listen, when you just like, there's a heist after heist with this one. Like
yeah,
they do a bank, they do the Royal Mint. There's just like so many things that you can do, man. There's new
yeah,
characters. There's
yeah.
obviously people die on the
But this
show,
guy
and
plans so far ahead. He planned
man,
further than the guy in Saw. It's like they plan for after their death.
the
It's like it's
the
mad.
professor, it's
Yeah, the
crazy, man.
professor. Oh,
It's
with
crazy.
his glasses.
With his glasses. It's a great show. And the
Yeah.
fact that it's in Spanish, don't let that put you off. And like
Nah,
Deval
it's
said,
good. It's good. It's good.
you can watch it in English anyway. So
Yeah.
no worries about that. So check that out. It's called Money Heist Part 5. Now the other big one is Jurassic Park Dominion, and we've
Mm.
obviously spoken about Jurassic Park on the show, a lot. And this is going to be it's the final in the latest trilogy, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
what are we saying with this one, Devado? Because
You know,
at the end of Jurassic Park, the second one, they end up in Las Vegas or something. Was it Las
they
Vegas?
did, yeah, in
Yeah.
Nevada, yeah, in the desert. So some of
Yeah.
the dinosaurs just went rogue, just went wild, So they'll probably pop up in the neighborhood somewhere, chilling out
Yeah.
on the street corner.
Playing poker.
Can you imagine this Stegosaurus saying, "I can work in a restaurant. You could use the plates on my back to serve your food." You know what I mean?
Oh shit,
Walking
man.
through. Brontosaurus is gonna be like, "I'll be the bus. I'll be the bus. You can all get on."
It'd be interesting to see what they do. How are they gonna like
How are they
contain
gonna
this? Are
survive?
they yeah, like
Yeah.
what are they gonna they have to exterminate him, or what are they gonna
Ah,
do? And like,
it's Dominion now, so they're sharing the Dominion. But
they
in
live
this
with him.
trailer, this movie's out next June, I think, so June 2022. And I'll be honest, the trailer looked a mess. I wasn't sure
Yeah.
what I was looking at. The trailer looked like they had used old footage as well as I don't know what I was looking at. I'll be honest, yeah. I couldn't clearly see what this was about.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, but you can check it out on
Yeah.
YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
The trailer looked not very exciting, but I'm still going to watch it because I've always watched Jurassic
Because
Parks.
we've seen yeah, man, we've seen Jurassic. Listen,
Yeah,
I've watched Camp Cretaceous, which is the animation. Like,
how is it?
seriously, yeah, right. Seriously, I've been watching that, man. So listen, we're
Oh
steeped
my
in this whole,
gosh.
like, in
Yeah.
this
I want to see
Spielberg
a
thing.
moment where someone says, "Clever girl." Like,
It's a
something
classic.
along those lines. It will never come back, man. 1993 was the
Exactly,
best.
man. The crane shot. Man, it's all
Yeah.
there. But listen, so we know that Chris Pratt's going to be back, and we know that
Yeah.
Bryce Dallas Howard and all that. So yeah, those obviously going to
They're
be
all
leading
coming
the way.
back. Sam Neill's coming back. Laura Dern's coming back. Goldblum's coming back.
Goldblum's coming back. They got to, man. This is the
Yeah.
big send off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
now, just what quickly, just before we move on. Now, was that supposed to come out this year?
Yes, it was originally. I believe it
Right.
was.
Okay.
Yeah. Because last one was 2018. It's every 3 years: 2015, 2018, 2021. But obviously that got delayed. So next year.
Next year. All right. Okay. So, folks, yeah. So go check out that trailer. And another huge movie that's going to be coming out later on. Well, it's actually coming out next month, and we're definitely going to be watching this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Venom. There will be carnage, and we've already got kind of like a teaser trailer, and we laughed about this. We joked about this. You, me, and Emmanuel. The way that the first teaser trailer just kind of like came out was funny. There's a funny bit in there where Venom now he's like it's just so casual now. Venom,
Yeah.
he's there and he goes into the local store and Mrs. Chen, and she's like, "Oh, hi, Venom." Like, how's it going? How's your day been, Venom? It's just like so casual. It's just so weird. But here's a new trailer, Deval. Tell us about this new trailer.
Yeah, new trailer. So yeah, my mistake. It's Let There Be Carnage, but there will be carnage too. But yeah, this trailer, you set it up nicely. The first movie done really well, and
Yeah,
I actually went and saw it in 2018, and I didn't see why it was so well. I didn't really
yeah,
feel it was all that. And you know what? I'll be honest. This trailer, it looks like carnage, as in like the trailer
yeah,
doesn't look all that. It doesn't look all that good. So yeah, I don't know. There's something about Venom and the
yeah.
tone, because Venom is a like a bit of a dark character. Venom does his own thing. You know, he's a bit mad and all that kind of stuff. But
He
I don't
bites
know.
people's heads off, man.
Yeah, and the tone is kind of, I don't know what to I don't know what to do. You know,
It's not
so
so true.
yeah, I don't know. It looks interesting. I'm gonna watch it. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
might enjoy it more because my expectations are quite low.
Low. Yeah.
Carnage character, I don't know. Yeah, the Carnage should be good, but I don't know if I think we're not going to get a great Carnage. I don't. I just That's what I think anyway.
Sequels, listen, look, we know what the kind
Yeah,
of like the ratio to when it comes to sequels and stuff, and the first one, don't get me wrong, it was interesting. There's some bits in there, some cheesy bits in there, and Tom Hardy's great to watch and everything. That movie, Devout, it did 700 million, I think.
yeah, yeah. If not 800 million, I think it done a lot.
800 million.
Done a lot. Yeah,
It did a lot of money, and
yeah.
critics didn't like it. It was kind of like mixed
Mm,
reviews and stuff like that. And I've seen it a couple of times now. So yeah, we'd definitely go out and watch it. It'd be interesting to
mm.
see how Woody Harrelson
Andy Serkis,
kind of fits in.
director. He's the king of and the what do they
Mocap.
call it? Mocap. Yep. So
Yeah, yeah.
we'll see.
So there's that anti-hero. Just quickly, briefly, sidestep. The other anti-hero, what's happening with Mobius?
Oh, Morbius is that is being delayed until January or February next year,
Oh
and
gosh.
that is, yeah, the blood sucking sort of vampire,
Yeah.
Marvel connected to Spider Man and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, I mean that should be okay as well, but we just don't know, innit?
We just don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah. And remember that was supposed to come out what, last year, or was it this year?
already meant to
Yeah.
be out. I don't even, I can't remember.
We
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
It's been
I don't
delayed
know.
so many times. So go check those trailers out, folks, and let us know what you think. Get in touch with us on Instagram. And if you like those trailers, let us know, what you're expecting. Now, let's do Anniversary Corner. And this fits in nicely with the main movie that we're going to be speaking about. And Deval, um, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm like, Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, these movies have done absolutely massive money, man. Like seriously,
Yeah,
like billion
crazy
at the
money,
box office. There's been 5 movies,
crazy.
and I think I didn't watch it after the second. Like seriously, I mean, I think I switched off after the second one. Like I don't
Oh,
know
okay.
where we got to in the end, and whether or not Johnny Depp is still like, was it good, the last one?
This one that we're talking about on Anniversary Corner is 2006. There's actually been, I think, two more after it. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
for me, this is the last of the good ones.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because this one, when did the first one come out? First one came out in 20. Oh, I think it was 2020, 2003. I
Wow.
think this might be the second one, but yeah, there was three of them that had Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, and Keira Knightley. I believe there were three of them, and those were okay.
Hmm.
They were good. This one, 2006. This one is called Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest, and it's got 7.3 in IMDb. I watched it ages ago. It was interesting. It was good. Very I can't say it. Swashbuckly.
Yeah,
I can't say
yeah, yeah.
swash. Is
Swash,
that how you say it?
swashbuckling.
Swashbuckly. I say swash. Yeah.
Swashbuckling.
So it's very
Yeah,
much that. Very, very.
it
You know,
is.
it's a kids' film. It's very, adventurous and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? It's entertaining,
Mm,
and it does the job. Keira Knightley is actually good in it.
yeah,
What's his name? Johnny Depp is a master at being Jack Sparrow. That's like, he's a
exactly,
master
man.
at it.
The accent and everything, and
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And it's fun. It's adventurous. And special effects are great and all that. So yeah. I mean, this one was good. This one was good. That's all I could say. There was one that came out in 2007, Pirates of the Caribbean, at
the
World's
Pearl or
End. That's
something.
like only a year after. So yeah,
Wow.
and that one,
Um,
yeah, I don't know
yeah,
about.
and I think it got to 5. I think like in the end
Yeah,
it
there's
got to
five
kind
of
of like
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
5 parts in the end. And listen, folks, if you didn't already know this, Pirates of the Caribbean is based off of a Disney ride.
Yes. which is why it's on the anniversary corner list that links to the movie we're going to
It
talk about,
links to
isn't
the
it?
movie that we're going to be speaking about just in a few moments. But yeah, listen, if you haven't seen Pirates of the Caribbean, go check them out. Like I said before, family friendly, fun, buckling, as Deval put it, and seeing Keira Knightley. Orlando Bloom, what happened to him, man?
Yeah, Legolas. He's still doing his
Yeah,
thing, but I think we all associate him so much with Legolas that when he
Lord of the
turns
Rings,
up in a
yeah.
suit or just regular clothes, it's
We're
like,
not going
who's
to take it
this?
seriously. Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
he's a good guy. He's
exactly.
a good actor. He's
Yeah,
cool.
exactly.
Legolas is cool.
And all right, so now let's do this. Let's move into kind of like the main movie that we're going to be speaking about, which is Jungle Cruise, and this is a Disney movie, and it shares kind of like similarities with the Pirates of the Caribbean because that too is based off of a ride,
Yeah,
Deval, in Disneyland, Disney World, or whatever it is. So clearly, um, Disney, the suits are probably thinking, oh shit, hey, you know what we did with Pirates of the
mm.
Caribbean and what we did with Tomorrow World or Tomorrowland or something like that.
Tomorrowland. Yeah,
Tomorrowland, yeah. You know what? Let's do it with Jungle Cruise. That's a great concept. Don't get me wrong. Like, going
yeah,
on this kind of cruise ship, deep in the Amazon, and let's turn it into a swashbuckling movie, which is what they've done over here. And the movie stars Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Emily Blunt, and Jack Whitehall. Now, when I heard about his
mm,
casting in this, I was like, damn, they got Jack Whitehall. Like
yeah,
he could be so annoying when I see him on
yeah,
screen sometimes,
yeah,
but he's a good actor as well, and like seeing him in
yeah.
some funny stuff as well. So those are the three kind of leads, and the get up is really simple. They're on the hunt for a special. Um, it's kind of like a flower which
Mm,
has kind of like healing powers deep in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil, and that the flowers have such healing powers that they could save like hundreds and thousands of
yeah.
people. And Emily Blunt's
It's the
character,
petal. It's the
it's just a
petal,
petal
and funny enough, I actually managed to get that petal. I found it. you know, I was on the Jungle Cruise,
all the way
and
from
you know
the
what
Amazon
happened?
basin, man.
You know what happened, man? I went on a Jungle Cruise. I got jungle fever as well. I got, I went and got me some jungle fever. So I got
He's
the
got jungle
petal.
fever.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
but seriously, it's like, oh my gosh, yeah. So this petal, and you know what? It reminded me so much of Indiana Jones. This movie
Oh
reminds me
yeah,
so much of Indiana Jones because there's some kind of elements. Oh, you know what similarity it's got with Indiana Jones? Yeah, they've got Nazis in this movie, and they had
oh yeah,
Nazis in
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
movie.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there's this kind of
Jesse
like
Plemons, he plays a good Nazi.
Jesse
He's
Plemons, who
funny.
plays a good Nazi. He's funny.
Funny.
He's yeah.
Yeah.
So so she kind of Emily Blunt's character. She's kind of like this archaeologist. She's kind of like a badass. The Mummy. Do you remember the Mummy movie
Yeah.
with Rachel Weisz?
Rachel Weisz. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of like that type of a character where she's got this arrowhead which then connects to finding the piece. It's part of a puzzle which they then leads her to the Amazon jungle. And Dwayne the Rock Johnson, he plays the skipper. He plays or Skippy as she calls him in
Mm,
this, of a boat, and she wants him to take her down the Amazon River to kind of wherever this kind of petal is and stuff like that. And like I said before, it's based on an existing idea from Disney, based on this ride. And for me, what I was interested in the most about was the chemistry between those two people. Like
mm.
I wanted to see the heat, the heat between the loins between those two. And listen, interesting fact over here. Uh, this movie, The Rock basically was attached to this movie from years ago. He's
Oh,
been
is it?
attached to this, yeah, he's been attached to this. And apparently, he wanted no other person than Emily Blunt to be his
Okay,
co-star.
okay.
And I was reading about this, and he basically
He
sent
also
her a video.
produced that on this movie as well. You know that? Yeah, this guy.
Dollars,
He's always
man.
got his fingers in the pies. You know.
This guy, man, he knows his shit. So
Mm,
apparently, when like when they were making and producing the movie and stuff, he said, "Listen, I want Emily Blunt. I love her. She's going to be great, and I want her to kind of like be the lead." And they didn't know each other, so what he did was, the director of this movie flew to America to give her a hand, in her hand, the script, but also deliver a video message from The Rock,
is
and
it?
yeah, and
Can't
basically
say no.
he
You
convinced
can't
her.
say no after that, can you? You can't say no
Man,
after
come
that.
on, man. You're gonna say no to a baller? Come on, man.
No.
Seriously. Um, so so yeah, so basically that is kind of like, he wanted her for the role. And listen, I gotta say, there is chemistry between those two guys. That is what I was interested in as well. This adventure, this kind of like, will they or won't they kiss each other by the end of the movie and stuff. And family friendly fun. Like, some
Mm,
bits, if I'm being totally honest, some bits were really cheesy. I found myself like
mm.
going on my phone like a few times. Like, seriously, man, I found myself going on my phone and like, oh, what is this? What does this movie remind me of again? So yeah, so we've got Raiders of the Lost Ark, we've got Romancing the Stone, we've got kind of like, The Mummy, which to me is kind of like the high bar in kind of like all that sort
Yeah,
of stuff, and obviously Raiders of the Lost Ark and everything. But yeah, man, it's like family friendly fun, like,
it is that.
but I mean the CGI devout. Okay, here's a question:
Yeah.
what did you make of the CGI?
It didn't seem 2021.
No,
It seemed kind
no.
of, maybe 10 years ago, maybe even, Oscar Ramirez, his
Yes.
role of a conquistador.
Yeah.
I thought he would have had a bit more to do,
Mm.
but he did what he had to do, I guess. It was what it was. He was a baddie, like a mystical kind of baddie, isn't it? Because you had the Nazi sort of real life baddie, then you had Oscar Ramirez's character, who was like a historic baddie who's a bit mystical, has got a bit of magic to him now. But yeah, I found that a bit two things. I found that a bit too long.
Yeah.
It's over 2 hours. Didn't need to be, I don't think. And also, I actually, even though The Rock, I love me some Rock. I love me
Mm.
some
Mm.
Rock from the get go, from ages ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I kept, I don't know. I saw The Rock in the film too much.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
the Rock needed to be in the movie because
I get
I
you.
think The Rock was bigger than the character. I don't know how to explain it, but The
Yes.
Rock, I kept seeing The Rock in the
I know
film.
what you mean. I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
He's this
He was,
larger than life character, man.
yeah, he's just, yeah, exactly. He's a great actor. Don't get me wrong. I can't take anything
Mm.
away from all of that,
Totally.
but I just think the role would have been better suited to someone that wasn't so statuous and
Yes.
rock, like someone that just just has a bit of like someone like not what's his name, not what's the Guardians guy called again, Chris Pratt. So
Oh yeah, Chris
someone
Pratt. Yeah.
of his kind of level where he's just that kind of character, but
Yeah.
not so massive. Because I think certain times when The Rock was fighting these people, the people had no chance, man. It's The Rock. Come on now.
Oh my gosh, man.
you know?
Seriously. That was crazy. Like, the punches and what I mean, like, listen, yeah,
Yeah.
listen. No, there were some bits in it where like I said before, like the CGI, I was just like, come on, man. Exactly like what Deval said. That is old school CGI, man.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
from back in the day, man.
Yeah.
But it's
Fun.
it's fun.
Fun.
That's all I'm going to say is it's
Yeah.
fun.
It's fun.
If you're looking for swashbuckling, and I
Mm,
thought Emily Blunt, she's great, man. I can watch her in anything. She's really, really
mm.
good. She does that kind
Sicario.
of
Oof.
role. Yeah,
She should
that
have brought out her
English
Sicario buddies in this film. They would have dealt with them.
taken out the Oscar
Trust me.
Ramirez, man. Trust me. But yeah, so she's great in there, and you know, um, another interesting fact: this is the first movie where they have an openly gay character.
Oh yeah, what's his name in it?
The
Jack
Rock.
Whitehall. The Rock.
No,
He
I'm
wasn't.
joking.
I was gonna say.
You should have seen Deval's face. He was like,
Nah.
"What? Did I miss something there?" Like, no, it's Jack Whitehall's character. Yeah, it's Jack
Because
Whitehall's character.
back in those days in 1916, that was
16.
obviously quite a big thing. So
Exactly. And yeah, there's other things in the movie where they kind of they play on this this thing about women, and like they her
not
nickname in the
wearing
movie is
trousers.
Pants, wearing
Yeah,
trousers and
yeah,
stuff like that. So
yeah,
like everyone, whenever they see it, they're like, "Oh, you wearing trousers?" And she's like,
yeah,
"Yeah, I don't
yeah,
care what people think." Like, because back in
yeah,
the day,
yeah.
women didn't wear trousers.
They had a
So
place, kind of thing.
yeah, exactly. So listen, it's out on Disney Plus Premiere. You can pay your 30 well, it's about what, 15, 16 quid, is it, Debal?
Something like that. I think about £20 actually. I think it's quite a
Well,
lot.
okay, so you pay your 20 quid, and in cinema you're paying around about that much, aren't you? But if you
Oh
win,
yeah,
obviously,
exactly.
if
They
you
win the
if you
prize, you
want
get
to
a free
watch it,
ticket.
get a free ticket to go watch it. And
Yeah,
yeah, so go check it out. It's Jungle Cruise, and a part of me does actually think though they did it as well because of the payday.
yeah. The Rock got paid nicely for this. Emily Blunt's getting paid nicely. So
Exactly.
yeah, why not?
Exactly. All right, listen, Devout, have we got time? What we got time for? A hidden gem or the other review?
Should we do double review because it's been there for a while, isn't it?
It's
So
been sitting there for such a
we'll
long
save the
time.
hidden gem for next time.
Exactly. All right, let's quickly do this. So this is a movie called Werewolves Within. And you know what? It felt when I was watching this movie, right? It felt like, oh my gosh, Devout, I haven't seen a werewolf movie in such a long time. So it's kind of like a bit of a welcome change. And I kind of it's been like probably like about 3 or 4 weeks since I've seen it. But the actor who plays it was the guy we saw him in the Tomorrow War. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, the funny guy.
The funny guy from
Yeah.
Tomorrow War, and apparently this guy, he's been in Veep as well. And whilst I'm speaking, Deval's going to get his name.
Oh, the guy. Yeah, he's called Sam Richardson.
Sam Richardson. So people might have seen him in this comedy show called Veep, and you know he was in the Tomorrow War and stuff. So he appears in this. He plays kind of like a park ranger who's in some remote town in America where it's freezing cold, it's snowing. You know, people are boarded in and stuff, and there are mysterious deaths happening. You know,
Savage deaths, aren't they? Like,
savage.
like being mauled or something, you know?
Exactly. Something's crazy going on in this small little town, and it's up to this park ranger to basically solve the what's happening. And pretty early on in the movie, they kind of come to the realization that hang on a second, it's a werewolf that is actually killing people. So there's a lot of comedy. There's a lot of kind of chemistry between the main character Sam, his character, and the postal worker. Yeah.
Milana Vajantrum.
And listen, I'll be honest with you, Devat, I don't know any of those actors. Like he's the only one.
Yeah. There's a couple that I've seen around in different TV shows and like other films and stuff, but they're not all lead characters. But I think that's what works the best. They're all kind of it's like a who done it kind of. It's like Knives Out, but not like big names. So it works well. They're all quirky, funny, like weird characters.
And the interesting thing about this movie is based off of a game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, based off a game. Yeah, is it a Hasbro game or something like that? But
and when I was just like, what? This is based off of a game. And apparently the game is like, people love the game. So they've turned it into this kind of like movie. And listen, I'm telling you, I had a really good time watching it. I thought it was funny. I thought, I wasn't bored. There weren't moments in the movie where I was looking at my phone. I was actually watching the chemistry between these two guys. And the CGI, I mean, let's get this out of the way first. The CGI is not going to blow you away. At the end.
I think it's more one of those sort of low budget comedy kind of,
exactly
films that need to blow you away, to be honest.
No. I mean, you do get to see, a werewolf at the end of the movie and everything. So, and there's nothing obvious. It's called Werewolves Within, by the way. So you're going to see a werewolf. But I mean, it's that kind of that bumbling kind of park ranger, the way he kind of bumbles into stuff and the different oddball characters and how he fits into this kind of like remote area. And I thought it was fun. I had a really good time watching it. And I can't remember. Can you remember the last time you watched a decent werewolf movie, Deval?
Well, actually, yeah. It was a hidden gem that I watched. I can't remember what it was called. I watched it off Rakuten. If you win the prize, you can get a Rakuten movie code.
Well, there you go.
But
what did you make of it?
I think I mentioned it was really good there, but it was really, really different. It was more isolated. It was a bit more horror, but it's really good werewolf film. But this one is good. Yeah, this one's good.
Yeah, it's fun, right? It's just a fun, decent kind of like put on, and you haven't got to worry about whether or not you're thinking. You can basically join in on the fun and like figure out who's the killer.
Exactly, that's what it's all about. So you can catch that on. That's actually on Rakuten, and you can catch it. Obviously, you can download it elsewhere, like Google Play and Apple, places like that. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I think that's a decent shout, actually.
Exactly. Yeah. So go check that. It's called Werewolves Within, and that is it. That's all we've got time for, folks. So next week we're going to be bringing you a what are we doing next week, Deval?
We're going to figure
or the week after.
Yeah, because someone's going away on a little holiday, so
exactly
we'll figure it out and let you all know.
No, all right. Listen, keep it locked on the Flixters, folks. So we hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, keep in touch with us, and that's it from me.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.